Hi, it's Pastor Lonnie from Community of Hope again. And today we are going to talk about the topic of anxiety. Anxiety, a lot of people feel isn't real, but I would put money on the fact that every one of us has felt anxiety at some time of our life. It could have been when we were little in school, our feet barely touched the floor, and the teacher calls on us for an answer. And all of a sudden, we froze. That's anxiety. And we have all different levels of it, and we have all types of it. And the COVID-19 virus is really causing anxiety for a lot of people. And so, for those of you that are struggling with it, I just want to talk about a few things for a couple of minutes, and hopefully, you'll be able to deal with it a lot better. You know, the Bible says, be anxious for nothing, and we throw that phrase around a lot. But do we really help anybody to know how to do that? And I'm going to give you just a couple of tips that one of them may be helpful to you as we move forward through this time of crisis in our country. The first thing that I always recommend to people when they're feeling extremely anxious is to just talk. Have a good friend that understands. A lot of times, just speaking those words out, you realize how silly some of your fears may be. Um, Sharing them with somebody, they can encourage you in a way that you really need and that will help you. Talking can do so many things for us. So don't diminish the power of sharing things with other people. This is a great time to explore a new hobby or to dig out an old one that you have. And if you're a cleaner, man, tear into that closet that you've been putting off cleaning out for a long time. If we have extra time on our hands because we're not working or we can't go places, it's a good time to just find something to keep ourselves busy. For myself, I have a whole stack of books that I'm hoping to tackle. And I'm getting movie and TV show recommendations left and right. There's not going to be enough time in the day for me to take care of things. So just think about what you can do, or when you're talking to someone, have them share what they're doing to stay busy, and maybe it'll be something that you can try yourself. Another thing that I think really gets um, ignored a lot is the power of music. If we read the Old Testament, David, when he was young and after he had killed Goliath, he was part of the king's court. And when King Saul would have um, emotional moments when he was not really fit to be around, David was called in and he played music that just soothed the emotions and the nerves of Saul. So find some music, folks. There's all kinds of it out there. It could be inspirational music. I strongly recommend nature music or just instrumental music. And you can get like Celtic music and tribal music, and there's all kinds of it out there for you on the internet. Just go to YouTube and do a search for it, and you should be able to find something that pleases you. And if you have a hard time falling asleep, that may be the best thing. Make some calming music your white noise to go to sleep by, because sleep is so important, especially when you're struggling with anxiety. That brain needs to shut down, it needs to rest, and it needs to heal. The last thing I'm going to say is stop watching so much news. That is something that we do way too much of. The media puts way too much out there. We're on overload. You can't even believe all of the things they're saying. I'll watch an interview with somebody and then I'll hear how the news translates, and it's like, that's not what I got out of that. So be really selective as to what you absorb. And I will remind you, I know you've heard this before, garbage in, garbage out. So be very careful about what you're listening to and how much of it. The last thing I want to do is just remind you about Philippians 4:6. Be anxious for nothing, but in everything, by prayer and supplication, with thanksgiving, let your requests be made known to God. Don't ever forget to just stop and pray. God is there listening. He's there to calm us. He's there to give us peace. Hopefully something from this little video will help you, and I just pray for you and wish you the very best. Thank you.